Okay, Vic, it's going to live stream,
Okay.
but now I can't see you.
Let me
Can
see,
you
because
see me?
I just clicked got it for live streaming on my end and it took it.
Okay. Okay. Well, I cannot see me. Wait, I can see. All right, good. I think we're good to go. So
Yeah.
I think we did it and we can still hear you. Yeah. We're having some technological excitement here. That's what we're doing. All right. So did you get some information from folks here? I wasn't able
a
to get on
bunch.
properly about income and all that kind of stuff they want to have.
Yep. Lots of good numbers here. And we got like 3 or 4 full timers in the industry.
Okay.
And some want to diversify, but a lot of them are saying retention is a problem. So even though they get them in one door, they go out the other.
Oh, yes, that is a really interesting
Yeah.
situation. Yeah. Well, what I'm going to do is tell you a story and then give you some other tidbits that I recently have learned, and that I'm probably not going to tell you stuff that you don't really know. Once you see it, you're probably going to go, oh yeah, right, right. Oh yeah. At least when I hear people that are really great, it's like, yeah, I kind of knew that. I kind of knew that. And I kind of, I have this and that. And then there's something about a distance between somebody who's really making it big and you or me and us. And so what I wanted to do is some of the couple things I want to share with you today are how to actually make something happen that you want to have happen in your business. And I don't normally do this, but I was so impressed by what I learned myself. I thought, you know what? I bet my folks might like to learn something like this. So instead of paying somebody 250 grand to hear it, you're right here on the house. So are we good? So Vic, can you see the slide okay?
Yeah,
Vic?
I can see it. Nice.
Is it just the slide that you see, or?
No,
Yeah,
I just see the slide. Yeah, I do.
Just the slides, right? Not the rest of my desktop. Okay, okay, cool. All right, how many people do you have to talk to? First of all, who here wants to become a $1 million earner in the business? How many people say, yes, I want to, who wants to? Now, this is not just talking in the mirror with a couple of drinks. This is if you had a path to become a $1 million earner in the business, how many of you would have the nerve to take it? That means do the stuff that has to be done. Talk's cheap. We all got a lot of that. We got a lot of that. Okay. Talk's cheap, right? Saying, I want this, I want that. And then you go watch TV. That is not how it works, right? You know that. All right. So what if we started with something smaller? How many people here want to become a 6-figure earner in a 6-figure network marketer? Let me tell you what that is. That's somebody who makes about $8,000 US is what I'm talking about per month. $8,000 a month. If you multiply that times 12, that's about 96,000, I think, close to $100,000 a year. You want to become that, right? And, before I figured out how to make money in this business, I wasn't making anything because I had just started with the business. And what I'm going to do is tell you the biggest mistake that we made in our first business, which when I learned how to correct it, has allowed us to build 6 businesses to the top in record time in every single company. Now, there's other stuff that always goes with it, like who you are. And if somebody says no to you, do you, die on the vine? Do you run to your room and cry or do you know that that's what's coming? And so you want to position yourself so that you don't even hear it, right? So if you want to become a 6-figure network marketer, I'm going to teach you how to do this. And a lot of it is right between your ears, but some of it is strategic and what they call tactics. I'm going to give you that right now. When I first got started, Vic and I have been working together for 20 years, Vic?
Oh, yeah.
We've been in the industry more than 30 years and I'm not doing the same thing over and over. No, we figured that out pretty early. You have to change what you do if you want to change your results. And to change what you do, you have to change how you think. And to change how you think, you have to listen to different people than who you're listening to. They say if your friends are 5 or 6 people and you're close to 5 or 6 people who pretty much watch TV and drink Coca-Cola and eat pizza, you're going to be a fat. If you live with 5 or 6 people who do, I don't know, yoga, or they go run and they work out and they really, figure out how to eat right, you are not going to be a fatty fat, most likely. If you're with a lot of people who read a lot, you'll be more well-read and be able to do more things than somebody who reads nothing at all. So who you hang out with is very much more responsible for how you act than you realize. So be aware of that. Be aware of that. All right, it took a big setback. And sometimes, let me tell you something right now. If you want to become an entrepreneur, who here wants to be an entrepreneur, which is make your own money, call your own shots, do your own thing? What do we have here? We got anybody like that?
Yes.
Okay, and that means that when there is an obstacle, you cannot go running and hiding, right? That's what people do who have this as a hobby. If there's a problem, somebody quits or somebody doesn't sign up. If you feel like you better quit because that's going to feel bad, then you really don't have yet what it takes to become an entrepreneur. Setbacks.
Can I interrupt just for a sec? Go ahead and expand your screen more, because I am getting part of the desktop leaking in. So go to your green off to the left and expand.
Let's see if this is better. You should not see anything.
Oh, that's better, Kim. That's better. We got it.
Yeah,
now
I wish you had said that before.
Perfect.
Yeah, before. Okay. All right. So it took a big setback. How many of you, if you knew that you were going to have at least 94 setbacks before you become $1 million network marketer earner, would plan for those and be sure to get back up after? Let me hear. Let me see. 96 setbacks, at least. And they'll be public ones, like Elon Musk.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody know how many rockets blew up and everybody laughed and was happy that his rockets blew up? Because they said, why should you be doing something nobody else knows how to do? All the envious people who achieve nothing laugh at all of us who are trying to do stuff in the ring. And if you are affected by that, you will stay right where you are. Because that means in your life, it's more valuable what the people you hang out with think of you, most of whom are probably not making 100 grand a month or 10 grand a month or doing anything other than a job, than what people do who are out there making the world a better place and falling on their faces very publicly almost every single day. Have we got this? And you cannot be a wussy-woo. You have to do your thing, fall on your face, be willing to look stupid in public constantly until you actually succeed. And then you know what they'll say? Oh, yeah, well, we knew that all the time. Mm-hmm. So be prepared for this, okay? So our first setback, I'm going to show you this. When you see it, you'll know. But if you didn't know it, you wouldn't know. So that's why I'm going to share this one thing. And everything changed after that. Everything I've done since then has been based on this mistake and this correction that we made. So here's what happened. I had a real estate business. Before I came to the network marketing industry, I was in the commercial real estate. We did giant leases, for companies like Metropolitan Life. We ran with the fast food business 30 years ago, from McDonald's to Jack in the Box, all the commercial stuff. That's what we did. And to find agents for my office, I ran newspaper ads. That's what we did then. And, if I were doing it now, it's probably I would do it if there were newspaper. And that's how I got my agents. And I recruited my agents through newspaper ads. That's what I did. Okay. And when I started the network marketing business, the first time my first company was the water filter business. And I did it because I was at a Taekwondo event, and somebody there had this little blue water filter. If you're old enough to remember NSA, that little blue water filters. And I saw it there, and I was somebody who lugged my water with me. I had somebody come with me and lug the bottled water because I didn't want to drink, to me, the caca out of the faucet, out of any faucet, my own or any, certainly never anywhere else. That's what we did. And so I thought, well, that's a cool little filter. Give me that. So I tasted the water. I liked it. And I said to the guy, where do you get these? And he said, oh, we market them. I said, great. So tell me how to do that, because I want to sell these. That's what happened. And he said, okay, well, you go to this and order them here. And I did. I ordered a bunch of them and sold them all because I thought they were really cool to people that I knew in the real estate business. So then I said, okay, I want to learn how to recruit because I had made quite a few thousands of dollars just marketing the products because I liked them. I didn't even think about recruiting people. And the top earner said, Kim, you made a lot of money with all these product sales, but if you recruit people, then you can make a lot more money. I said, okay, so how do you do that? What do you do in this business? And he gave me an ad to run. This was the ad that we're supposed to run. I said, okay, I know how to run ads, so I can do that, which I did. And I ran the ad. And in the first couple of months, I recruited about 36 people who bought each of them almost all of them bought a $5,000 water filter package. That's what they did. Okay. And for us, we earned about $1,200 for every $5,000 order. So in those first 6 or 7 weeks, the company paid us about $30,000. And of course, that's a good chunk of money. There's nothing wrong with that. But you have to remember that I'm in the commercial real estate business. And our lease deals were quite a bit more than that because we would do 20, 30, sometimes 50-year leases and earn, upwards to $100,000 per deal because we were paid out so many months in advance. You see what I mean? But 30,000 was a good number. We thought, great, that's a win. And 6 weeks after that, just about all of them, maybe except 7, disappeared. Yeah. So I was amazed, and it's like, where did all these people go? And so I called my sponsor. I said, look, I was going to do a training for these people. They all asked for one, but only 7 people showed up because everybody disappeared. And she smiles, and she says, oh, Kim, most people quit in this business. That's what she said. Most people, I'll never forget it to this day, with her little Southern accent. Most people quit in this business. And I told her, well, why would I be in a business like that? I don't want to be a dummy. I want to quit too. Why would anybody be in a business where most everybody quits? If you know that up front, why do it? And she said, well, and then I told her, I have recruited all these real estate reps, commercial real estate reps. They're also volunteers, 100% commission. Nobody's ever quit. And I had like 15 of them. And so she says, well, why don't you, before you be quit, why don't you try and run ads the way you did when you recruited them? Are you with me so far? Hey, Evelyn, long time no see, lady. We got that? Nice to see you too, Roar. My goodness, you guys, it's good to see you all. So these are the ads, right? And so I thought, well, why not? Why don't I run the ad the way I ran for my realtor people, my real estate agents, because none of them had ever quit. Are you with me so far? See, Vic, see if they're with me so far.
Oh, yeah, they're there. They're tuned in.
Okay. Tuned in. Okay, cool. So I compare the ads. That's what I did. And here was the ad for the water filter reps. And this is very common ads in those days. In fact, today, if they could get away with it, they'd still do it. The ad for the water filter reps said something like this: $10,000 per month, need help, no experience necessary, will train, Healthfield. You with me? Let me see. Yep. Got that. Okay, cool. Here was the ad for the real estate people. Now, you want to focus on this ad. Are you there? Don't do anything else. Focus your eyes on the words and listen to me read them so that you get the difference. If you see this, you're safe. If you don't, you'll stay exactly where you are right now. The water filter reps ad, $10,000 per month, need help, no experience necessary, will train, Healthfield, call 800, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Here is the ad that I had run for the real estate reps where I hadn't lost anybody. Top commercial leasing agent wanted. Must know every block in the San Francisco financial district. Feels comfortable showing to national clients. And this wasn't even called this number. I left it the same so I wouldn't have too many changes. But what we had here is send resume. Wait, resume, okay? Can you see what the problem is in the ads? Can anybody tell me what the problem is? Let me see it in the chat. Let me see it in the chat. Okay. Anybody, especially people that haven't seen this before, especially for those of you that are new. Who can see what's cooking?
Ronnie says, and he's new, too general. And Tracy, the first wasn't specific.
Okay.
Doesn't
What
call
else?
out to the target audience.
All right.
Yeah. And Quentin, the real estate ad specific and upfront.
So the question is, who are you asking for? Yeah. Who else we got here? We got some other
Ken,
folks?
he says, one is looking for professional people.
Right? Yes, that's probably good. Let the new people, give the new people a chance, Chip. Yeah, that's it. That's totally good. Okay, so the problem jumps out. So you can see, most of you see, have got the idea that you're asking for different people. You're going to ask for who you get. So if we look at this ad, 10,000 per month, need help, no experience necessary. What are we doing here? Are you asking for anybody? What are you offering? You're offering the moon, right? 10,000 a month. Remember, this ad was 28 years ago. Even today, 10,000 a month sounds pretty good. Need help, no experience, we'll train. So you're offering the moon and asking for nothing back. Do y'all see that? Does that make sense? Make sure we got this here. Whereas in this ad, notice the first line, top commercial leasing agent wanted. That's singular. One person who sees themselves as a top commercial leasing agent. Why did I want that? I want to be able to go fast. We wanted to grow our real estate business fast. So I wanted people who said, I am, when they read this, they identify with this and go, yep, I am a top commercial leasing agent. I want to know. I know every block in the area. I feel comfortable showing to national, pick me, pick me, pick me. That's the focus, you see? And with this ad, it's come one, come all, make big money, and we don't need anything from you. No experience, we'll train you. So you see, you kind of get what you ask for. You see how that works? Tell me yes. So it's specific, and you're looking for the qualifications of the people that you want. And one of the things in our industry is the industry has never believed in qualifying anybody. The industry, as long as I have been in it, has taught everybody will want this, recruit anyone who can fog a mirror, offer the moon, and they don't have to do a single thing except sign up and pay a few $100 to get started, or sometimes a few $1,000s. Am I right or not? Who is with me on this? Right? You could just answer right there in the chat. That would be really good.
Yep.
Yep.
They're
Okay,
following.
you see this? So who should you ask for? Who are you supposed to ask for? I'm going to tell you who to ask for right now. You ready for that? Yeah, I'll tell you what. This is the definition of a business by Sir Richard Branson. By the way, how many of you here believe that you have a business, that your network marketing gig is actually a business? Anybody like that? Feel that? Anybody think you don't have a business? Just make sure that you do. Okay. How many do you feel like you actually have a business?
Half a dozen at least. Yes, 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 Tracy.
Okay. Well, that's one, because you need that in order to be able to do the next part. So a business exists to solve problems that people will pay for. So says Sir Richard Branson. He's founded many businesses, including, the Virgin Atlantic Airlines. How many of you agree with this, that a business exists to solve problems that people will pay for? Tell me yes or no that you agree or you don't. Ronnie, you guys, we're looking for you folks that I know you're new to us. Because you old hats, we know you know.
Mhm.
So if this is true, what question should you be asking yourself if you own your own business, you're running a business, your network marketing business, and while it's true that you don't make the products and that the company pays you, the reason we classify ourselves as a business is because without us, there are no sales. You have to recruit and find customers and reps to market the products for the company. So I would say we're probably the most important. Without us, your company, whoever you represent, would have no business. Because who's going to sell their stuff? The people at the company don't know how to market and sell. Why do you think they have those jobs? Because they don't know how to market and sell. They want you for that. So what is something that you should have in your mind? If a business exists, if your business exists to solve a problem that people will pay for, what's the first question you all should ask yourself? Put it in the chat. Let me see. What should you ask yourself? Anybody? How about this?
Here we go. Ronnie, first timer, that I need to figure out the problem I can help solve. How can I solve people's problem?
Right. But you want to start, remember here, a business exists to solve problems that people will pay for. So in the case of, say, Apple and Steve Jobs, what problem did they solve when they came out with their computer that had a beautiful font, for example, or that was easy to use? Let me ask you this, would you say that a business solves problems that the business owners know something about and are very interested in themselves? Yes or no? Yes or no? If a business exists to solve problems, do you think the owners want to solve problems that they're really good at solving, that they have a big interest in, or say any old problem in the world? Like we help network marketers, but outside, I'm looking at the lake out here and what's out here and all these palm trees. There are people here who take care of the lawns and take care of the fronds when they fall down. And those are problems that people have. Do I want to solve those problems? No, thank you. I'm going to solve problems for people in an industry that I'm in that I know a lot about. So my question to you is, as a business owner, who chooses the problems that you're going to be really good at and learn how to fix? Who chooses those problems? Yeah, you do. You decide which problems you are going to solve. You know, Henry Ford was interested in cars, in making a motorized vehicle with wheels instead of horses. What did he do? He went into the business of building cars. He didn't go into the business of building railroads or, farm equipment. He went into the business of building cars. They were among the very first cars. You see that? So you decide which problem you are going to solve. You don't ask you can ask the world, hey, what do you want? But what are you going to be good at? What's the place where you can really shine? Do you want to be like a Henry Ford? You see that? What have you, and here's how you tell which problem you want to focus on solving. What's a problem you can help someone with? You start with you. You start with you. For example, when I told you the story that happened 30 years ago with the water filter business, when we changed that ad, and we changed the ad from come one, come all, $10,000 a month to, we changed the real estate ad. Key person wanted, experience in sales, marketing, and public speaking, must have owned their own business before, send resume. That was the ad. Did we get like 5,000 responses? No. We got like maybe 500, 1/10 of what we got before. But the quality of the people was way better because they had owned their own business before. They were into public speaking. Hello? So this problem that I solved for myself with my business, which turned out to be a giant problem in the industry. What was that? Most everybody drops out. Why? Well, they were promised the moon and they didn't get it. I never promised my real estate agents the moon. Are you nuts? You got to get really good. And that's not the moon. That's you figuring out where the best properties are, what's coming up, how you do it, who's looking, be there before the crowd comes. And that requires focus. So there's usually just one thing, maybe two, that somebody can get really, really good at. Do you see what I'm saying? Does that make sense? So what's the problem you can help somebody with? Well, choose one. And here's how we help you choose it. I would start, let me just add this slide here. I want to say it right here, because somebody has the answer. Solve the problem for others that you have solved for whom? For whom? What's the next word? You got it. You want to solve the problem for other people that you have solved for yourself. The minute I changed the ad, we got all kinds of people into the business who stuck. And within, I don't know, 6 weeks, 8 weeks of that new ad that the upline said will never work, she said, nobody's going to come. So why? How do you know? She says, well, because nobody wants to do public speaking. So what? The people that I get, maybe it's 2 or 3, they'll know how to do it. So I don't have to, teach people. I want to go fast. I like building fast. And if I get people who are basically wieners in public speaking, they're so scared. Oh, I don't know. I don't say, what if somebody looks at me funny? I don't want those people. Not now. I want to go fast. I want people who already like public speaking, who like teaching, who've owned their business before. That's who I am. That's who I want. And Vic and I, since we got together, have always asked for those people. But we don't need very many of them. Jesus only had 12. And now look, he did all right with a frontline pukey. You don't need, in our industry, it's true. It's an industry of a lot of people doing a little. That is a fact. However, those lot of people doing a little, guess what? They're all led by drivers, people who drive thousands, hundreds and thousands of those people in groups of 5 and 10, who have more groups of 5 and 10 and 5 and 10. I was looking to see how fast we can find a few drivers. Do you all see the difference between a driver and somebody who's just kind of dabble and see if they can make some money without too much work? Do you see that? Yes or no? So you start with solving a problem that you have solved for yourself with your business or your product. Why? Because that's what you're going to be marketing. Got it? Does that make sense? Vic, make sure we got everybody.
No, they're saying yes. Oh, yeah. Tracy says.
Good. Okay, so here is how you want to structure, begin to think about how you're going to present yourself to the world. Somebody says, so what do you do? And you can go, oh, I'm a Ding Dong rep, or I'm a Shaklee rep, or I'm a, I don't know, whatever you want. LifeWave, name any company. But who cares about that? How does that help anyone? Remember what Richard Branson said. The purpose of a business is to solve a problem that people will pay for. So like an eye doctor, like a heart doctor, like a specialist who does detailing on cars, if people still do that anymore. My business helps people who are looking to what? Achieve X without having to do some other yucky things. Let me give you an example. My business, the one that Vic and I are running right here, our business helps people who are looking to, we help network marketers who are looking to build a 6-figure business. Okay, that's the first part. They are looking to build. How many of you said you're looking to build a 6-figure business? How many did we have here?
Oh, several, at least half a dozen.
And now without having to do something yucky, like without having to hit on all your friends, without having to make promises that you can't keep, like, oh, you can make all this money doing nothing. without having to do, say, social media, without having to do talk to your friends and family, whatever it is, because we have all these different methods. So who do we help? We help network marketers, aspiring network marketers who are looking to become six-figure advisors, right? Because that's how you do that, without having to do whatever yucky things that people don't like. And this is how you want to think about your own business. You see, instead of everyone and anyone, this is how you want to structure. Does this help some of you? Start thinking about who it is that you help when somebody says, what do you do? My business helps people who are looking to get in shape. My business helps people who are looking to start a side gig that can actually in 5 years make them $5,000 a month without having to hit up their friends, without having to go door knocking, whatever it is that you are not making your people do to achieve this end. Are we sure we got this? Are we good?
Yep.
All right. So this is really what you want to do here. So it's no more the everyone swamp. Have you discovered that everyone is not really very good at this type of business? We got this? Who here has a product that they know will help people or service? Okay.
Yeah, several. Ronnie?
Right?
Teresa? Mhm.
You for sure know that it's going to help people, right? And it's helped you. What about you? Do you have a story for yourself? Let me tell you what happened to me. Do you have a before and after story? Before, I was kind of lame and I didn't know how to walk right. But now and I tried all these different things over the years. And now finally I found this kind of crazy product and I'm kind of walking pretty straight again, let's say. All of you have something where you've had a transformation yourself. You see, when you have a personal story or a story of somebody that's very close to you, not somebody really far, very close to you, you have an incredible advantage. Why? Because if the thing mattered to you and you now have got a better life because of it, what's going to happen is you will be much more credible than somebody who's just selling anything that they hope is going to sell. Right? So this sounds like to me, Ronnie, all of you, be sure to comment set your chat box to everyone so people can see your comments. Because these are really important comments that you guys are making. Don't just make them to the host. Please just change your setting. So let people know, Ronnie. Yeah, that'd be good. Okay, and it's helped you. And that's really what you want. So this would mean if it's really helped you and changed, wouldn't you love making your offer to people because you know what it can do for them? How many people here, if you know what is done for you, including the income side, maybe you're making $500 a month or $800 a month or $3,000 a month or $8,000 a month and you never did that before, that probably changed your life. And so wouldn't you love making your offer to people because you know what is done for you and that maybe it could do that for them if they had that problem? Let me see. Mm-hmm. That's really what you want to do. So let me show you how to make this work. Pretend that your thinking is like this. How many of you, before I tell you this, how many of you have a GPS? Yeah. Hang on a second here. How many of you have a GPS? Just one person? The rest of you guys drive around blind? Is that the deal? Who's got a GPS?
Well, we got two at least.
Right? Do most of you have some kind of a GPS on your phone or in your car or something like that? Right? Okay, so how many of you have ever set it to a destination that you haven't been to before? and you just set it and you don't think anymore about how you're going to get there. You're going to just follow the instructions based on what the GPS tells you. How many people have done that? I mean, before the, say you set you're in, I don't know, you're in LA and you're going to set your GPS to go to someplace, I don't know, Tahoe. And you've never been before, but that's what the destination is. So you've got it. Do you worry really about how it's going to happen, that you're going to get there? Yes or no? How many people would worry a lot about every street that the thing is going to give you? Right? You don't even, but you set the GPS and then you let go and you let the system help you get there and you just follow along, right? And put gas in the car now and then. We got that? Okay, this is going to be the same here. If you think you want to make, I don't know what their numbers were at the beginning, but let's say you said you want to make $10,000 a month, pretend. Your GPS can be set to, I own a $120,000 a year business. That is your GPS that you give to your mind. I own a $120,000 per year business. Who here gets that? Your mind can have a GPS. Program the damn thing so it has it. Just put it in. And if any of your brains are going, well, I don't think about your car. You put it in, you're going to go from LA to Las Vegas. Do you freak out because you don't know exactly what road it's going to take? Or do you let go and you know you're going to follow somebody who knows how to get there because they've been there, done that to help you get there? Yes or no? 120. How about this one? That's a six-figure business, by the way. Somebody says, what six figures? A lot of people don't know what that is. That's $100,000 a year business from $100,000 to $900,000, $999,000. When you get to eight figures, six figures, the next one's seven figure. That's $1 million. When you get to 10 million, that's eight figures. When you get to 100 million, that's nine figures. Okay, so six figures is a good place to start because that's right here. I own $120,000 per year business. How many people could say that out loud right now? Or I own $1 million a year business. That's going to, right? That's going to be a little bit more. You can also, let's say you did, Vic, was there anybody there? What are some of the numbers that they gave they want to make per month?
The average was around 10,000.
Okay. So this is what your GPS for your mind can be daily. We know you don't have it now, but when you set the GPS, are you there already? Yes or no? Hello. You set your GPS in your car, you're going to go someplace. Are you there yet? Yes or no?
Not
No.
yet.
But
Not
do you
yet.
believe that now that you've got that thing set, that the machinery is going to get you there? This is like that. I own $120,000 per year business. That is your GPS for your mind. Okay. That's what you're doing here. Or you can have, I own $1 million a year business, or I own a $10 million a year business. You set the GPS to the level, the ability that you have right now to imagine that this could be happening in the next, say, 3 years. Because if you don't, you won't take the steps that are necessary to get there. It'll be like you have your GPS turned off. You have no idea where you're going. And usually not going anywhere at all. Okay, so that's your GPS. So you set your GPS to that destination, that type of business. I own $120,000 a year business. How many people can actually say that? Let me see. Who can set their GPS to $120,000 a year as their GPS? That's where they're going. Let me see. We got that?
That's good. Yeah, that's good, Kim.
Yeah.
Trust the GPS. Trust the GPS.
Trust the GPS. And this time you're doing a GPS in your mind. And can you trust it like you trust the GPS in your car or on your phone, that if you have a guide of some kind and they know how to get there, that they will show you how to do it. And you are supposed to go along for the ride and do the things the way they say. Get off this exit, stop here, do this, fill up the car, do this, do that. You have to do that thing. Okay, so you set it, and every single day you tell yourself, I own $120,000 a year business, or I own a $1 million a year business, and you operate as if that is where you're operating from. So if somebody says no, you might say, well, what would I say if I had $120,000 a year business? Would I go home and cry under the duvet? Or would I say, well, let's see here. How can I get the next person who's the right one? You see, once your mind has it, it will do all kinds of things that you never thought of to help you achieve it, especially your attitude about people that flake. Okay. All right, good. So it's like driving somewhere new. You set your GPS. You don't know exactly the how, right? And it takes care of the how. And that's what the purpose is of having somebody who's a guide, who's been where you want to be, who is where you want to be. But the other thing about such a person is, at least to me, they're the kind of person you want to be. You know, somebody asked me the other day, I'm reading this book called The Nine-Figure Mindset. And in the first couple of pages, they say, you want to, that would be a $10 million business, or more, 10 million to 99 million a year. And he said, the first thing you want to think about is who has achieved what you want. And of course, we know a lot of people like that. And who is somebody that you want to be like, that's kind of like you, that you want to be like. Because there are people who are making 10 million, 20, 30, 40 million a year in this industry and in the coaching business that I do not want to be like. In fact, I made a whole list of people, and I didn't want to be like any of them. I want to make that income, but I didn't want to be like them. And then somebody said, oh, Kim, you could be like this guy. It's like, oh, yeah, I could be like him. He's reached that amount of income, 100 million, and he's the kind of person I want to be. And that's very important. Find a coach or someone to help you that is not only been there, done that, is making that income or has made past it already, but it's also the kind of person that you want to be. You know, if you want to be a screamer, there are plenty of those. If you want to be, you know, and if you want to be somebody who brings people to you, there are plenty of those. Find a match of a type of personality and principles that you can live by. Does that make sense? So for many of you have been in the business for 5 or 10 years and you still haven't made any money to speak of, right? You're not at $10,000 a month. Am I right? You know I love you, but you tell me the truth now.
Yeah.
Right? So how come you're not there yet? How come you're not there yet? Okay, I'm going to give you an answer that you've heard before, but you haven't done anything about it. And so if you set your GPS, here's the next thing. You never decided. You know, people are very chicken to decide. Why? Well, what if I don't make it? You know, deciding means cut. That's where the word decide comes from. You got to cut off all the other options. And you've seen a lot of people want to say they want to make 10,000 a month. They want to make 5,000 a month. But who here has really ever decided that I own $120,000 a year business. I own a 6-figure business with my network marketing business, or whatever business you've got. I'm assuming most of you are. Who here has ever decided? Let me see. Has anybody ever decided? Who here dares to decide right now, today? I am deciding that I own $120,000 a year business, or that I own a 6-figure business, or that I am a 6-figure network marketer. Because if you decide, that means if you say come into one of our classes, or somebody else, you cannot say, oh, but that's my night for Netflix. Why? Because you didn't decide. When you decide you're going to go to the Olympics and learn to swim and get into the Olympics 4 years from now, or whenever it is, and be in one of those swimming lanes, Do you think, how many of those people that are committed to doing that, do you think, well, do I have to go in the pool today? I already went 2 days ago. Do I have to play tennis again today? I already played last week. And they want to get to Wimbledon. How many of you think that those people who've set their GPS for the Olympics, for Wimbledon, for anything that they don't have now, once you decide that they really think, well, should it be movie night or should it be bowling night? Or no, I better spend some time with the kids. Yes or no? Right? Remember, deciding means you cut out virtually everything else. Not all, but very close to everything else. Otherwise, you didn't decide. You're kind of hoping if I can just do it now and then it's going to happen. Okay. All right. By the way, who here has decided they're going to have a 6-figure business? They're going to be a 6-figure network marketer earner.
I think you have 3 or 4 that said that's them.
Okay. Well, if it's not you, what are you? What are you? You want to be a 5-figure earner? You want to make 5,000 a month? What do you want to be? I want to know right now, because otherwise, why'd you even come? Except you can be entertained. I get that.
You got at least half a dozen, maybe 10.
Okay, remember, if you find yourself thinking, well, should I do the business or learn how to do it? Or should I go to the movies? Or should I take a break? Or should I do this or that? And then it just means you didn't decide. Because once you decide, 99% of everything else in your life is in second priority. The greats of the world, that is all they do, almost all. You know, it's not an hour a day with the kids, it's maybe an hour a week. And you warn them, I'm going to do this for 3 years. So I won't see you as much, once a day, once a week, but it won't be the same old, because I got to commit to becoming this person who then will have this type of business so that we don't have to worry about money anymore. See? Yeah, just decide. Yeah, if you're not sure you're supposed to do it, that means you're not committed. So don't do it. You don't have to do it. You could do something else. Just decide, do you like your life the way it is? And if you don't, do something about it. Decide you're going to pick another one. And if it's your network marketing company, you don't like it, pick another one. Pick a product line that represents philosophically what you believe in. Does that make sense? Like, you know, Vic and I, we do run experimental teams, and we're running one right now and the focus is of people who, we help people who are looking to get off the daily pain meds because they know that's got trouble coming, and who are looking for something different that has no side effects and nothing even goes into the body. That's a certain market, and that's who we're looking to help. Why? Because we think big pharma is ruining humanity. That's why. So if we can do a little part in helping people get off, but not have suffering, we're in a good place. Right? So, yeah, well, if you think about what is it that you want to, what kind of thing, what are you interested in? You know, Ronnie might talk to Vic and see, because, you know, there are a lot of options for people. We know players in all the major companies, almost all of them, and we can set you up with almost anybody. And not because we're in those deals, but because we know there are people who want to do business the way I'm outlining it for you. Not looking for just everyone, but help the people that you know you can help because you've helped yourself. It's a very different cup of tea, including the income, okay? So if you never made up your mind to just do it, that is what you have to do. What is your destination, okay? I own a blah, blah business. Does everybody figure this in? Put in the chat before we close out. I own a blah business. Tell me how much you want for the year. Vic, tell me what you got there.
See if the answers are going to come in here.
And you say, I want to learn how so I can make an informed decision. That is not the way you do it. That's like you saying, okay, I'm not going to turn on my GPS until I know how to get where I'm going. Well, then what do you have the GPS for? You see that, Ronnie? If you say, I'm not going to make a decision until I know how, that is like deciding, okay, I'm not going to turn on the GPS until I know the path myself. Well, then why do you have the GPS?
That's good.
Ronnie, I want to be sure that you get that. You see that? Believe me, honey, you have no idea how I know. Our mind does this to all of us as humans. Well, if I don't know how, I'm not going to do it. Well, then you'd never go anywhere because you'd never use your GPS. You see? Elon didn't know how to make a rocket exactly, so he read a book. Why? He's worried to death that we're going to kill ourselves on the planet. Did he know how? No. He didn't know how to make a rocket. He doesn't make the damn rockets. What did he do? I want to go to Mars. We're going to Mars. I want to go to Mars. I want to be a planet-faring interplanetary humanity. That's what he wants. People are still laughing. Who cares? Look at the rockets he's built that are putting satellites all over the world now. You see, as part of the process. So he didn't know how. He read a book, and then he contacted the authors of one of the books and said, do you know people who like to do the software? And he started hiring people who said, I want to help you build that rocket that could take us to Mars. And he found the people. He didn't learn. He still doesn't know how. Do you see that? So your first goal is, where's your GPS going to set? Where are you going? What number are you going to put it? Once you decide, the how will take care of itself. Because you're going to test all kinds of things. But the how also is not really the how, it's also the who. You know, we were watching an event the other day, and there are people who come into the business, and they have other people who come in with them. And sometimes you guys will hear, oh, if you look at your company, the people walking across the stage, oh, I've only been here 3 months and I made $30,000. And you go, and they used to be, I don't know, a plumber, a waiter, pick some relatively low level station in life, right? And you go, well, how come I can't do that? I must be really dumb, and get the gun out of the glove box and get ready to shoot yourself, right? Until you hear that person has been a network marketer for 25 years, has been to the top of 4 or 5 different companies, and called 6 or 8 friends, not drivers, not people who were afraid to speak, but 6 or 8 friends who could call their 6 to 8 friends who called their 6 to 8 friends. And in 3 months, they have like 20,000 people. Do you see that? Right. That is how that works. Who you know. If I sponsor somebody that really knows how to do something, or somebody sponsors, say somebody like me or Vic, and we know how to do it, they're going to feel blessed. Why? Because we know how. We're going to go and do it. We don't need them, right? Which is why they have to offer something to us for us to bother. You see that? So you own this kind of business. Decide. That's your GPS. And if you're going to say, well, I'm not going to turn on the GPS until I know exactly the route, until I knew it myself before the GPS, you'll stay where you are. Okay. Mm-hmm. You get a specific number. Okay. Decide what business you own, just like this. Mm-hmm. 120, it's $10,000 a month. I own a $5,000 a month business. That would be $60,000 a month. You see? And put your GPS for your mental self on the bathroom mirror, put it on the fridge, put it under the pillow, put it on your phone, put it everywhere. You see how that works? Tell me yes, because we're going to be done now here. You need to, and the way you attract a driver is not by asking for everyone. And what needs to happen here is there's a little Bible verse called, put off the old man and put on the new. Do you know what that means? Be renewed in the spirit of your mind. I mean, I'm not a very strong, religious person, but I know the Bible pretty much backwards and forwards because that's how I was brought up. And I was somebody who went to camp every summer until I was 12 years old. I got a week for every 100 verses that I could recite in front of my church. Mm-hmm. And one day, the 4th or 5th year, I was like set up for 600 verses. And the people in the church said, "Oh, Pastor, we know she could do it. Don't make her do it." So I was all ready, right, to recite my 600 verses. They sent me to camp for 6 weeks on the house because I could. So that's the reason I know it so well. But this put off the old man and put on the new. What happens when you dare to set your GPS to I am a multi-million-dollar network marketer. I am a six-figure advisor in network marketing. When you decide that totally, and it's in front of you and behind you and beside you, your brain will take off the old you, which wants to go watch TV and think, well, maybe I should, all that crap, right? And put on a new one. And you'll be all renewed, literally in the spirit of your mind. And you'll start thinking, well, now that I won a $5,000 a month business, who could I find that would help me get there the fastest? Who could I find that will help me get there the fastest? You'll suddenly do that. It'll come right out of your own head. You're going to go, oh my God, I sound like that crazy Kim Flavor. Who are you looking for? Somebody who can help you go fast. Somebody who wants to dominate. Somebody who is competitive. Somebody who says, I'm really into health. And they're ready to go. And they're not shy. They're not afraid, because you asked, who could help me get to a 5-figure business really fast? No, it's not Aunt Lulu, who's afraid to overshadow. No. You got it? All right. Because that's what happens when you decide to set your mental GPS. I want to make $1 million in a day. I want to be a $50,000 a year network marketer. I want to be a 6-figure advisor type marketer. You see that, how that works? Yeah. Yeah. That's what you want. So you can help people get the results that they want. Because if they don't buy from you, will they have a result or change in their lives? Think about this. You think you can help people because you've been helped. Now, what do you think you're supposed to do? What does the Bible say? When you get something special from somebody, aren't you supposed to pass it on? Because if you don't learn how to ask the right people to say, hey, I have a business that helps people who are looking to do this or that or the other. If you know anyone, let me know. If they don't buy from you and you don't learn how to ask them to take them shopping, like Vicki does, how are they going to get a change in their life? How are you going to help them if you don't learn how to do that? You see? You get that? You're leaving people in pain if you don't learn how to call out the people you can help. That's on you. That's on you. Learn how. Remember? A business exists to solve a problem people will pay for. That's what you were doing here. So that's what my message for you right now. And if you want, we can invite, we have a limit. We have a program that we've run for some years, and we've decided to limit it. I haven't told you, Vicki, but we won't put more than 2 people in when we have one of these sessions, not more than 2 people. So we have other programs, but we have one where we give some special care and attention to people who have set their GPS and they have determined they're going to get this now, and we will be their GPS for their number, whatever that is. Okay. So only 2 people for this. How many want to see what we're doing? You want to see what we might invite you to? Because it's only going to be 2 anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yes, a couple of people. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay. All right. So the program is called 6-Figure Advisor. I could have called it 7-figure, but we thought we'll start. 6-figure means a minimum of $120,000 a year. Remember that? All right, here we go. So here's what you're going to learn. We're going to show you how to ask for who your ideal people are. Who are the ones that are looking for you? Because they have a problem that you know how to solve. Right? That's why. All right. How do you describe such a person and get their attention online or off? Like, you want to give an example? I'll give an example. Who are our ideal people for this program? Network marketers who love the model. They love the model. They cannot stand how it's taught. They don't want to go to friends and family. They don't want to cut and paste copy that is not even them. They want to do who they are. If they're Miss Bubbly Boo, they want to be Miss Bubbly Boo. If you're an ingrown toenail, you want to learn how to market and make people come to you. You want to do it the way with the gifts and who you are. Okay. So we're going to show you, depending on who you are, how to find people like you to start. And the quickest, because speed is the game. I don't know how many of you think you're going to live another 50 years, but I'll tell you, the world's a funny place. And if you don't have your own income stream, You are going to be so screwed in these administrations that are coming up that are trying to control everything. I can't tell you how many people I know who are being laid off from jobs. I mean, Vicky talks to a lot of them. I mean, yeah, because they say, oh, everything's fine. Unless you're working for the feds or companies that are completely funded by the government, your chances are much reduced of earning really a good income, like 6 figures a year. Now, if you like what you have, believe me, I'm not suggesting you should change it, but I have never wanted to be dependent on anyone ever. Never, never, never for my income. And, you try that once and then it doesn't work. It's like you learned your lesson. And I learned it really early, like at 12 years old. That was it. So we're going to show you who are the people that are ideal for you. They're the ones that are looking for the help that you can give them. Okay. Make sure you know that. How do you describe them and get their attention online? What words do you say? Okay. That's messaging. How you keep their attention so they don't run off and buy from someone else. Because people that have problems are looking for a fix. And if you don't get their attention and keep it, they're going to buy from somebody else. Because people buy for their reasons, not our reasons. Okay. How do you help them enroll so that they look forward to the enrolling? Because they're going to get a fix, not because they're giving you money. No. People want to enroll. When I enroll in these programs that I have to stretch to get into, it's because I know whatever I paid, I'll make 10 times more in a year, if not sooner. I'm dying to get in. And that's what you want. You've got a fix, and they want to make a change that you can help with. So you have to learn how to make that enrollment process be a gift to the other person. And if you do it right, it will be. It will be. You just have to qualify the people like we did in the first time. Remember the real estate ads? You could do the same thing in your posting and when you talk to people. How to get them started looking for their sheep. Somebody said once, well, gosh, how do I find all the people? And Jesus said, my sheep hear my voice. Did Jesus get them all? Hardly. But my sheep hear my voice. Your sheep will hear your voice. And that depends on what you've done for yourself, financially or health-wise or relationship-wise or whatever it is that you're doing for yourself with your products and your business, okay? We have an instant assessment system. We have a way to pre-qualify anybody before we ever talk to them. I haven't talked to anybody about enrolling in anything in, I don't know, 6, 7 years like that. But we enroll people all the time. Guess who does the enrollment? She takes people shopping. It's Vic. Because we pre-qualify everybody first, so they self-select. And by the time she talks to 10 people, Vic, how many do you enroll in anything that we have?
8 out of 10 consistently.
See? And that's how you do it. We've got the GPS set. We know what we can do for people. We're looking for people who are looking for that kind of fix. That's what we're doing. So it's a program, it's a higher level program, the 6-figure advisor, but it's not 100,000 like Russell Brunson charges 250,000 a year now to be in his Category Kings program. Tony Robbins has $1 million a year program. So don't think these aren't out there. And it's not rich people. It's people who want to become wealthy. They know they've got to learn from these people, and they do. But it's not that. It's not 50,000 either, and it's not even $25,000. We have a $15,000 program that runs. We have it now running for. You can do it in 10 days, or 3 to 12 months. Either way is fine. We have some people that are quite advanced, so they can do it in 10 days. You know, like those people who come into a business and 10 days later, they've got, they're making 10,000 a month because they knew who to ask, bring in the right people, know how to make the enrollment process look like the person enrolling wants to enroll. They want to go shopping. They want to get the fix. So then you could do it in 10 days. Otherwise, it's 3 to 12 months. And for most people, it's 3 to 12 months because you don't have the experience yet of building a business. You do have to, like it's learning how to play tennis. You will have to get on the court a lot and hit the ball a lot in order to get good at tennis. Do you agree with that? You're going to have to practice a lot. Hello. Okay. So what we have, we're going to offer a one-time special, which ends Thursday night. Yeah, you got to practice a lot. the best people, the most talented people practice the most. Yeah. So here's what the deal is. Instead of the 15,000, this program has a one pay of 9,800, which is where we typically sign people up if they do a one pay, and it's 15,000 if they pay over time. Okay. So what we're doing on this special today for people that are on this call is a $4,700 one pay, or 2,000 times 3 months. So 2,000 when you start, and then 2,000 next month and the month after that, or $1,000 over 7 months. So 1,000 to start. So that's what the program, that's what the special is until Thursday night. Okay. So it's only for people that are ready to move in the next 48 hours. That's what it's for. Okay. So the way you see it, if you go link, Vic, if you put the link in there, you'll see right there where it is.
Yeah.
Remember, we can only take two people for this program. Okay. Right now. So if you want in, get with Vic, text her so that she can know that you're going to be one or two people that want to talk about how we might do this. And what's going to happen is when you begin the program, we will help you do everything from cleaning up your Facebook profile so you don't look like one of those people doing one of those things, to getting your instant assessment system, which is a very cleverly cooked up set of questions that you give people when they say, yeah, I'm kind of interested. What have you got? And of course, you're going to learn how to say, well, let me tell you what happened to me. But then they want to go, well, how do we do this? And how does it work? And then we say, we got a couple questions for you. And if you get to the other side of the questions, I'll tell you everything you want to know. Are you up for that? We've never heard anybody say no. So they go, yes, and you're going to get that customized to you. And the questions include everything having to do with price, the philosophy of the product. And that's how we do for this as well. People self-select, and by the time when they say at the end, yeah, I'm interested. The number sounds good. The pricing sounds good. I want to help you market it, because they might or they might not, right? Doesn't matter. Either way is good. You'll get, out of 10 people, we'll get 8 people that are just good monthly users. And we'll get 1 or 2 who bring in some people. You'll have the same. Those are the numbers out there. That's just kind of how it is. So they will book with you, and you'll get a little message that says, ding, ding, Vic, you got a booking from so-and-so. She wants to talk about this program or that program. And then she has a calendar, and you'll have a calendar. And then you'll learn how to interview those folks. We'll give you exactly the same questions that Vicky's using to interview, whether it's for the people who want to get off pain pills every day and are looking for an alternative to see if we have something that can help them and still get rid of the pain, or whether it's for the 6-figure advisor, like what we have right here. You see how that works? And you want to have interview questions so that you're positioned as someone who has a fix for something they're already looking for. Do you see? So that's what we have for you. That's what I can offer you. And if you are interested in being one of the 2 people, connect with Vic. And that's what we'll do for you. And you can get there in 10 days. So let me ask you, how many people here that have enjoyed this? I'll assume that there are some of you who really like this message. How many of you would say that this is true about you? Yes or no? You tell me now. Be honest. When I make up my mind, there's no stopping me. When I make up my mind, there is no stopping me. Who here is like that? Who here is like that? When I make up my mind, there is no stopping me. And who here has decided to set their GPS for at least $5,000 a month, that they own a business that's $60,000 a year as their network marketing business, or whatever coaching business you have? Who has set their GPS to at least 5 figures for the next 12 months that you get there? 5 figures is 50,000 to 99,000 for the year, right? You should connect with Vicky, all of you, because whether you can take one of the 2 spots, you might be too late. but we have a couple of other options for some of you, including the brand new book, Duplication is a Myth, which somebody told me yesterday, Kim, this is like somebody put Kim on an AI bot. It's like, oh, okay, that sounds pretty cool. But that's what you want to do. And if you have not dared to set your GPS, remember, if you're asking, you're worried about the how, it means you don't quite understand yet how humans work. And this is a stage. There was a time I didn't know it either. Don't think we are born with this, Some people are. I sure wasn't. I don't know about Vic, but I always used to think how. I'm very much how oriented. I have a book, an orange book called If My Product's So Great, How Come I Can't Sell It? What is it? Page after page of hows. That's why everybody loves it. But what do you do with a how? You learn how, you go, oh, okay. I asked somebody the question. They said, oh, yes, I want to sign up. And they sign them up, put the book back, never do another thing for 5 years. 5 years later, they come into the program, pay 15 grand and say, yeah, I got the orange book. I loved it, but I didn't do anything with it. Because the how does not drive you. It's your GPS in your mind. Plant that damn thing in there. Pick any number. You're not there yet. But if you don't have a destination, you're screwed as far as making any kind of income on your own. I would never dare risk being at risk like that in this environment. I mean, I live in a relatively safe enclave in southern Florida, but I read the papers and I am sick of everything, especially our own government. Do this, do that. I haven't done any of it, none of it. I'd live in a hut in Tahiti before I would do those things to my body that they say. But in the end, you have got to figure out how to be financially your own person. And network marketing is one of the best models in the world for it. Why? Because you don't need to come up with your own damn products. That's why. And it's low ticket. I know it's low ticket. Most of your products are $100, $150, $200. However, to my high ticket friends, and I love high ticket, this is medium ticket, it's under 5 grand. But what's good about it is that most of our products are the kind that people are for health. And so you can help a lot of people if they stay on the product. Somebody said retention. Let me tell you about retention. If you get people in the business on the product and you say, like Eric says, oh, will you do me a favor and just buy my product? Well, of course they're not going to stay on. Why should they stay on? People buy for their reasons, not yours. They buy for their reasons, not yours. How many of you buy an Apple, a phone? Because, well, Apple needs to stay in business. I really like Tim Cook and those poor things. I better buy a phone or they're going to go out of business. Why do people buy a phone? Give me that phone. It does everything. I have movies, I have this, I have that. I want that with me all the time. We buy for us, not for them. Another thing for retention is if you create, let's say that you're really good at, somebody said they had a big product, let's see here, Helena Low. Let me just pick you out of the blue. For the change that you had for your product, what was it? Or I can just give you an example. We have people who are taking these dots who have gotten pretty much off the daily pain meds. Well, they're so happy that they got off daily pain meds because of the side effects and all that they're not telling everybody they know who is on daily pain meds, hey, there's a way to get off to some degree, at least if you want. Or there's a way to stimulate your stem cells so that, you feel like you're 26 again. If it happened to you, you see, then you're a living testimonial. What do you think religion is based on? When Jesus told his people, okay, boys, we're going to spread the word now. I'm checking out. You're staying here. What do? Go 2 by 2. Tell the story. What story? They're before and after. What do you think that story's about? Before Jesus, I was, and now I'm, what? Fill in the blanks. Right? And you tell that before and after story. Let me tell you what happened to me. I couldn't walk. Then Jesus said, hey, get up and walk. Boom, I did. Why? Because I believed. And you tell that story. This is the same. This is the most marvelous parallel to how religion has grown that I know of. Tell your story. If they respond, build a church, build an organization. If they go, yeah, I'd like to know about that. If they don't, leave. And don't forget to kick the crap off your sandals on the way out of town. Why? Because you might catch the cooties. Negative attitudes are very catchy, just like positive ones. You see that? Yo, Gail, good to see you. All right, good. Yeah, there's a lot of new stuff, Roar, since you got in. So we have to see where you are in that program, but we certainly love to help you. All right, good. So this is what I have for you. Are you all connected? Yep. Okay, who is ready to connect with Vicky and at least get some help and direction about what you could do next? People who set a GPS and who will stop asking how. That's who we want. You have got to let go once you set the GPS, because the how will come in the form of ideas that you suddenly have. It's like, oh, I could do so-and-so. I have a new little book out, and I was just thinking it's going to go to the physical printing here pretty soon. I have to get some quotes on the back, and I have a lot of quotes from people who love it, but I wanted to have also a couple of quotes from people that are kind of big hoo-has, in the field. And for some reason, I thought, well, I'll do it later. And then, of course, you draw a complete blank when you force yourself. Who am I going to get to write a thing? And they have to read it, of course, and then they have to love it. And then they have to love it a lot, because I only want quotes from people who are absolutely crazy about this little book, because it's completely a rebellion against status quo network marketing teaching. Absolutely. Every point is the opposite of what they teach, everyone. And I couldn't be more delighted to have lived through them all and put it out there. And so I suddenly thought of somebody today. It's like Mike D. Some of you know him. And suddenly all the rest came out. I decided I got to have a big hoo-ha on the back cover, my GPS, at least one. I don't want too many, because I want real people. I want real people. I'm a real person in that way. And very much like Henry Ford, it's something that average people who set their GPS and dare and quit thinking about the how, because they know it'll come, just like the GPS. You set it. Your mind is just as powerful. You don't need to know the how, just set it. And then wait to see what instructions you get from somebody like me or Vic or whoever your teacher that you choose. All right. It doesn't matter. Pick somebody that's been there, is there, and does it the way you want to do it, so you can be that one you want to be. That's what you do. And then it comes. It's like you wake up, you go, oh my God, I have this great idea. Oh my God, I have this. How many of you have had that in your life? You think something and suddenly, so-and-so showed up, or, so-and-so, this or that happened that you didn't expect at all. But you decided something, and suddenly these things just appear out of the woodwork. I mean, that's happened to me, and that's why I know the universe helps people who set these really specific GPS, and a number is perfectly good. If you want to, if you're hung up about money, you could say, I want to help 1,000 people get off drugs, daily drugs this year. Me personally. Help 100 people enroll into a program where they can get off the daily drugs. No matter how much it makes, if you place it in the right place, you'll make some money. Do you see what I mean? So you can do it that way as well. All right, cool. Any questions? Vic, are you guys connecting with her? Those of you that dare set your GPS?
Quentin,
if you don't,
Ronnie, and Helena, I especially want you to text me, because I think your GPS is about ready to reset from what I can tell.
And you want to set it.
Yeah.
Why do you want to stay where you are? Do you guys really, if you stay where you are, how good is that? How good is that? Yeah, there was an piece of art today that an old friend of mine sent me, and it's a Monopoly board. And y'all know the Monopoly game. You go around the board, and then you can buy real estate. Does everybody remember? You can buy pieces of real estate. You can buy a single house or a double house, and say yes. Am I talking to the choir? Anybody here? You got anybody in the right? And so what happens is they say some people play the Monopoly and go around the board and never buy any property. They never make any investments for themselves. They just go around the board, try to stay out of jail, and pay $200 every time, earn $200 every time they go around the board. And they said that is how most humans live their lives. Go around the board, try to stay out of jail, pay the people along the way who had the sense to buy the properties that you didn't want to buy because you were too cheap or too chicken. Stay out of jail and get paid $200 to go around the board every year of your life. Is that the kind of life you want? Buy some real estate. Set your GPS. You cannot possibly be worse off than you are right now. And once you have a GPS set, it wakes you up and it's like, oh, what can I do? And suddenly you're going to the library or to Amazon, and you're, instead of reading trash books or fairy tale books, you go to, oh, 9-figure income. It just happens in your mind because your GPS is set there. Am I right, Vic? Has this ever happened to you?
Oh, magically. Yeah. Where'd that come from? Something pops in the head.
Right? Yeah, it's kind of like
I don't know. I love it because it's real. It really is a real thing. If you set your GPS, I've done it
so
numerous.
Let the universe help you. Dare to set your GPS. Make it the number one thing in your life, and things will come to you. Shut everything else off. Just let your family know. You want to go to Disneyland first class next year? Leave me alone for a year. You know, Tom Cruise, when he became an actor, he'd never been in show business. He acted in some high school play. Before he went into to Hollywood from wherever he was living, I forget where, he asked his parents, will you give me 10 years? 10 years before you tell me to quit show business. How much time are you giving yourselves? How much time will you give yourself to set your GPS? You can do that right now. Right. Set your GPS. How much time will you give it to get to that place? Would you give yourself 10 years? Would you give yourself 5 years? Would you give yourself at least a year? What are your numbers? Yeah. All right. All right, Vic. If there are no questions for me, I'm good to go.
Okay.
And I did send you a message about somebody today, Vic. You got that, right?
Yeah, I've got it. All good.
Okay, cool. Okay, cool. All right, you guys. Thanks for coming. Vic, any questions or any issues I should know about?
Don't see any. I know 3 or 4 of you are GPS setters. So you got my text, and I got one of you texting me right now.
Okay, good.
All right.
Just 2. 2's all we can take.
Yep.
But with those 2, it'll be a fun ride, and we'll help you get there because we know what it takes, especially if you don't have people living around you that will help you with your goal. Many of you will have to set your GPS and shut your mouth about it because you've told before, I'm going to make all this money. You didn't make a penny because you didn't decide and you didn't set your GPS and you had nobody to guide you. We offer a GPS service here, but we only take people who have set a GPS and have decided. Otherwise, we can't help you. Right? All right. All right, you guys. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.